Hey, you guys, you are getting an inside look at my bed today. I'm actually working from my bed today because I am so sick and tired of sitting in the same chair and the same view in the same space that I had to shake it up today and just did a whole consultation appointment right here from my bedroom with Stephanie. And it was the most comfortable appointment that I've had this week. Hey, I just want to talk to you guys about a couple of things today. I've had several different consultation appointments with people this week privately to work on building and branding their agencies and different things to get them moving and growing. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about mindset. And we've been talking about that. We talked about it yesterday about your mindset of growing your luxury business. But I want to talk about what's going on inside here. Because all throughout COVID, I feel like we've been focusing on products and features and doing our terms of agreement and cleaning up our space, our offices, our logos, all of these different things. But I want to talk about inside, what you're doing inside. Are you cleaning up the space inside your little soul during COVID? And so let's talk about that and let's discuss that for a minute. And I want you to give me a yes or no in the comments if you've been working on your personal self throughout this. Just yes or no. I would love to know. Hold on, I'm getting my comments out here. Hopefully I can get this moving because I can't see you. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about that I see daily when I consult with agents, and not necessarily in today's appointment because I don't want to narrow it in on any, but I see a lot of different agents that are comparing themselves to other companies. They're looking at larger companies, bigger agencies, people that are distributing more travel than they are. And they're thinking, how can I get to that step fast? And what they're not doing is growing an actionable plan, that business development plan that helps them to be successful. They know they want to get from A to B, but they're not taking all of these little teeny steps along the way to grow that. Okay. And so a lot of times inside, we are stuck from moving on and growing because we're comparing ourselves to what other people are doing. And we feel like we're blocked. We feel like we're in this just wall that we can't move forward because all of a sudden we try to make progress. And what happens is we're stuck because of right here. That mindset is so incredibly important that we need to shift that and not look at what others are doing and just look at smart, actionable steps that we can take to make one change, like one change at a time. I always tell my kids, I have 4 kids. And they range from 26 to 16. And they've all been super successful, but they've had different roads, each one of them. And I think the reason why they've been successful is we've always broken down their goals into super small things and said, look, you're going to have more information in 6 months about how things are going to look. So you don't need to know what's going to happen in 4 years when you go to college. You just need to know what this semester looks like. And I'm saying the same to you guys, is you only need to know what this semester, this fall looks like for your travel business. Excuse me. So I want you to stop comparing yourself with other agencies. Stop comparing yourself with other marketing programs. Stop comparing yourself with how other people look on social media. You know, I tell my kids that all the time. If your brand is not where you want it to be, just take one actionable step to make it that way. The change has to come from within though, because there is a reason why inside that you're looking at others thinking I'm less, I'm not enough. And in this group, I don't want any more I'm not enough, because everybody in the Luxury Travel University group in here is enough. And we want to help move you from A to B, help move that ball down the court. Another roadblock that makes it impossible for us to grow is inside. For some reason, we're perhaps waiting for whatever the right time is. COVID created the right time. It created plenty of time when we were done canceling everything. But we might be waiting for something to happen like, oh, I'm going to do this when. I'm going to lose weight when. I'm going to fix my relationship when. And so the thing is right now, I want you to ask yourself, like, what am I waiting for? Again, all of these other things that you're doing, checking your terms and agreements and structuring your fees and different things are not actionable, or they are actionable, but I want to ask you what you're waiting for. What you're waiting for to make the big change inside. You're making the little changes. You're growing the little components in your business and changing the little components. But what is a major thing right now inside that you need to change to give yourself the freedom to have this amazing mindset to move forward and to grow your business bigger than better? Give me some comments. Give me some questions. I want to know, what is it that's blocking you? Put it in the comments right now if you're watching, and let me know what is stopping you right now from growing your business. For this group 4 years ago, I actually started it and didn't finish it. I didn't pick it up until this year again. I knew that I was going to be consulting agencies, but I was just in a mindset that I could not take any more on. I had moved from New England down to Orlando. I was building a house. My kids were at different stages that I really need to concentrate on. And I knew at that time it just wasn't right, that I had too many things on my plate. And I couldn't create that mental space in my mind to make the change and to create what I fundamentally wanted to create because I was too cluttered. And so I set this aside for a while. And it's interesting now, a couple of years later, the time's right and the space is open. And so I want you to be asking yourself, like, in fact, I want you to get out a piece of paper right now and write down the things that are stopping you. Here's what one user says right now. Lack of confidence that comes from experience. That, people, is like the number one thing that everybody says to me is like, well, I'm afraid to charge fees because I don't have experience, or I don't feel like I have enough education, or I don't know my products well enough. Or here's another one that lovely Sheila says, finding the right ICs is a challenge as an agency owner. And so I want you right now to create just 1 or 2 sentences on a piece of paper and tell me what you're waiting for. What is it going to take for you? What are you waiting for? What's going to be the right time? I feel like right now is the perfect time. I just got off with an agent and we just went through a whole action plan with her for an hour and a half, and everything. I was like, I don't even want you to cry because I'm going to be critical for a minute about your branding, about your your website, about your Facebook profile. We went through a lot of different things. And at the end of the day, I said to her, like, I want you to like dig right here and tell me what is stopping you from doing A, B, and C that we've talked about, because I could sense something in her. And she kind of just shook her head and she said, yeah, I feel like I need to make changes inside. And I was like, I feel like I need to make changes inside. We're all feeling that way, that there is something that we're waiting for to either clear out or, to create the right time. So what is the right time? Like, when is it going to be the right time? Okay. Do you create artificial dialogues in your head about your life and your travel scenario? Here's one thing that I'm seeing progressively. I always say progressively. That's not even the right word. Here's one thing I see consistently. That's a better word. Consistently in all the Facebook groups. It's like everybody's waiting for something to open up. We're waiting for a destination to open up. We're waiting for, let me move this off the screen. We're waiting for a destination to open up. We're waiting for the world to open up. And so we're a little bit in this artificial timeline in life, like, oh, when Europe opens up, the world's going to explode and my business is going to start again. Or when, we can go to the Caribbean again, or whatever, or when I can visit my parents, or, we create these artificial timelines, and we're doing that in travel right now. And I want everybody to get around that, because guess what? It doesn't matter if the world's not open. I mean, it does matter because we want to be selling more, etc. But don't work on an artificial timeline. Like, every single day counts right now. I wake up every single day and I'm like, whoa, this is a gift. I honestly feel like, and let me get all spiritual on you guys, that every day is a gift. Like, I feel like the time right now, COVID, I have lost 6-digit salary, and I feel like it's been one of the greatest blessings that's happened to me. It was a gift that it gave me this space and this time to work on things that I needed to do, work on myself, work on exercising, sleeping better, even losing weight, spending more time with my kids. And I feel like in business, especially in the travel industry, that artificial timeline is like, oh, life's going to start when Europe opens, or life's going to start when we can do all inclusives, or when my son calls right now. So I'm going to put him on hold for you guys. So one of the things, another thing that I want to talk about is you are not doing this alone. One thing that I think COVID has created is a great community of people coming together. And that's what my consulting is all about is, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor. And I don't care if you use me or Jim Bob or whatever from the other group. Everybody needs a coach. You are not doing it alone. If it's not a coach or a mentor, find a friend. But you do not have to trudge through this alone. Okay. And I think sometimes just sitting down with someone one-on-one and evaluating their business, a coach helps you see things that you're not seeing. I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was just saying, like, look, narrow down on this, get sexy with this, get really, really fine tuned with this, because sometimes it's so easy to detour. We want to like eat that whole elephant at a time. And really, you're going to have more information in 3 months, 6 months of how products are going, destinations are opening, all of these different things. And so take it just one piece at a time, people. And don't do it alone. Find a friend, find a mentor that you can work together on. It doesn't need to be a paid mentor. It doesn't need to be me. It doesn't need to be coach, whoever. But find a paid mentor right after I said that. Find a mentor that you can work with, or a colleague that you can work with that you can just bounce ideas off of. Okay, one of the other things that I put on my list today is stop listening to everyone but yourself. I want everybody to zoom in right here, come to Jesus, people, and tell me what's inside. Somebody said that lack of confidence that comes from experience. Is there more? Is there more inside that you need to dig for? What's behind that feeling of the lack of confidence? So stop listening to everyone and start like listening up here and get crystal clear with what's going on inside of here. Because I 100% believe that when we fix this, we fix our businesses and we fix our family life and we fix our social lives. A lot of it comes from right here. And so you want instant fix, you need to fix inside. And that means you need to get crystal clear and get crystal honest. That's a new one I haven't said before. Crystal honest. You have to get really, really honest about what's going on inside of you. I said to one of the agents today, I said, you know what I'm just not getting from you is the joy, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, here we talked about all of these different things and she'll say I was critical, and I was critical on some things, and other things were working like clockwork. But guess what? I didn't feel from her. Joy, people. She just felt like it wasn't in her right now. And how many of you guys feel that way? Like, and I'll tell you what, I feel like every other day I'm waking up going, okay, am I going to feel joy today? Or am I going to feel super lousy about today? Ask yourself, is that joy piece missing in you? And start listening to inside about how you really feel. And narrow down and focus on what those feelings mean. Where are they coming from? If you feel like you're at a dead end, first of all, nobody's at a dead end into the business. Okay. Your businesses aren't totally destroyed. The industry is pretty destroyed, but it's not over. The world is going to go on, and life is about feeling Joy, joy. And I want everybody to write that down. Joy. How am I going to find joy in my life today? Because we've created artificial timelines and we feel like, okay, when Europe opens or when I start selling and making even a couple $1,000s, I'm going to feel more happiness. You've got to get out of that mindset, okay? Because artificial timelines can be really damaging, okay? Okay, one more thing today that I want everybody to work on. And I don't know why I've been like so super lively lately, like coming on live, but I just feel like being live, like talking live. I want you guys to shoot me some questions if you have questions, because I'm going to answer them right now. But I want you, before the weekend's over, is to come up with just one action plan that produces a result. Okay. For somebody that I worked with today, I was like, let's just clean up that email list. And I'm going to go, we've talked about email lists in everybody's groups for 10 years, but I just want you to do something, like whether it's clean up your email list, look at your logo, go for a jog, or, revamp your website. I don't know. Just find one thing that's actionable and complete something and have a result by Monday for me. Okay. So part of selling, part of becoming amazing, part of making 6 digits is really about what's in here. And you know what? I'm going to tell you a little story. Money has nothing to do with it. Your company making money has absolutely zero to do with this inside. I was also telling this story today, so I'm kind of repeating myself. Probably about 10 or 12 years ago, I'd pretty much traveled the entire world. And I mean, in its entirety, multiple times. I've been to over 55 plus countries. My kids have all traveled with me because we world schooled before it was super cool on Instagram, and dragged them along with me. And at one point I told them, like, hey, you're not seeing reality. And I was joking with a friend about this yesterday. Like, when your kids start going, hey, we're going to have a butler in the room. Hey, why aren't we in business class? Hey, why aren't we getting upgraded? You have problems with your kids. And, we wanted our kids to have more of an authentic experience about how the real world lives. And so when my son was like doing his Eagle Scout project, they were collecting hygiene kits, of a variety of things. And I said, I want you, instead of putting that in some big garbage bag and hauling it up to some foundation, like, I'm dragging you to Timbuktu, which ended up being Costa Rica. And I want you to physically hand that kit to the person that's going to use it, because I want you to see the look of someone in the face that needs this kit. I just don't want it delivered to some foundation doorstep. Our family has a nonprofit called Color My World Kids. I run humanitarian trips in the summer, and I spend most of my time in garbage dumps. So on one hand, while I'm selling luxury travel, the other half of the year, I'm like in garbage dumps working with people. And this was the beginning of a really amazing thing. And I want to tell you about it because my kids were younger. I told my husband, I'm like, we're going to be back. We're going to make a little jaunt to Costa Rica. I get down there, 8 people had been murdered right in front of the place that we were staying. And it wasn't a hotel. It was a Christian mission. And, there's still cops and blood and a lot of things going on. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I just brought my kids to a murder scene in the dumps of Costa Rica. And we locked ourselves in this compound. And after 3 days, I was like, oh, good. Now we're moving to the JW Guanacaste Marriott. It's going to be amazing. And my kids begged to go back. And in the meantime, because I was blogging about the experience back when blogging was super hot, multiple friends reached out and said, we want to go with you next time. Like, this is what we want to be doing in life. And it dawned on me right there. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got all the skills and the gifts and the talents to use travel to change lives. Like, what if I started like moving people to not moving people, but taking people to work with people in third world countries where we could create sustainable development projects and change lives. And that evolved. And 10 years later, we work in Nicaragua, Guatemala, Peru, India, Nepal. And we've also done work in Costa Rica and Dominican that we're not doing right now. But our schedule is usually those other countries. And so I spend about half of my year working for free, building humanitarian trips and a nonprofit so we can give back through travel. That's changed not only the life of the giver, but also the receiver. So it's been mutually beneficial. And I'll tell you what, that's something where I dug deep inside. And that's what I'm talking about to you guys, where you're digging deep inside and you're saying, whoa, I want more out of my job. I want joy. And that one change where I started making zero money, but had so much one-on-one with people and looked in real people's eyes who really were suffering, because we're not suffering in America still. even with COVID. I see conditions that are way worse than anything that we have going on here. From people living in garbage dumps, no shoes, cooking over open fires, no clean water. I've seen it all. And when you look in the faces of those people and you can see joy and you feel joy, you have to take a hard reality look at yourself and going, whoa, I'm super, super dang blessed. And why am I not feeling that same joy in my life? And so all of it's a mindset. Creating my humanitarian trips was a huge mind shift for me. And that has brought me more joy and happiness making $0. But finding out who I really am inside and using those gifts and skills to bless the lives of others is what is really fundamentally important in the world. And so while we sit and try to grow business and grow luxury travel and grow our websites and grow our followers and all of these different things, the main thing that we need to be doing is growing ourselves inside and then giving back to people. And so I want everybody to go through these steps that we talked about. We've just talked about comparing yourselves, looking for the right timing or what's holding you back from the right timing, creating a positive dialogue in your head that could be holding you back. It could be holding you back. Getting rid of that artificial timeline that we're all sitting and waiting for, thinking that you have to do everything alone, listening to everyone except yourself. And then the action is creating an action plan of one thing this weekend that you can do that can produce results. Okay, that was basically my own little luxury travel university sermon on the Mount today. But do we have any questions out there? Anybody? Because I'm going to just sit here for a minute. If you have a question, I'm going to answer it. I'm in bed. I'm feeling comfy. It's Friday. Any questions? Who's out there watching? I can't see who's watching. Maybe it's 6 people. It doesn't matter. The power's in the replay, right? So, okay. Looks like we don't have any questions today, but shoot me questions if you've got them. I love to answer DMs, and thanks for listening. See you guys later.